Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris, man. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today, I guess I'm going to probably do a series of these because this channel is about helping you guys, informing you about things that you might not know or, what's most man's opinion? He's been playing guitar since he was a little dude. What do you think? I've played thousands of guitars. I was just telling my wife, I do sometime a rotation. I start to sell off some of the stuff I had for a while, not because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I like new, fresh things. Things get really stale for me quickly, so I'm like, I got to switch it up. I might have one guitar in my collection that I might keep till I die. All the rest of them, sometime pass them on to bring in new ones. Even though I'm trying to get up out of here, and I got a lead on a place, and I'm another day for that, but. Having issues in this house with the ghost and all this other crazy stuff. So, it's time to get up out of here. But, a new rotation comes in. And I thought I would do a video on this guitar because, you guys need to know this. And I'm going to share a story with you before I go into this because this is interesting and it ties in. I remember when I got my first Fender Stratocaster American made. Now, Fender makes some great stuff. Gibson makes some great stuff, and the list goes on. But, you got to pay close attention to the marketing, because it's like, am I getting a good deal or am I just getting smoke blown up my rear? So from that point before, I was playing the Mexican Strats. I loved them. They lightweight. I got used to that real bright, twangy sound, that real crisp, clean sound that penetrates through the mix. So... I got my first American made, and it was the anniversary. I think it was the 60th anniversary or something. It was silver. I try to leave a link down here because I just seen it on eBay, and that's what triggered my thoughts on this. And now that guitar's almost $3,000. I paid $6,000, and that was a lot back in the late 80s. And when I got that thing home, I had a lot of high expectations for it. And the first thing I kind of noticed, it was kind of heavy than the other one. I was like, man, it's kind of heavy. I'm like, okay, it's American made, baby. So I bought it, got it home, plugged it into my recording console. I was very disappointed. I was like, this shit, tone is flat, real flat. I wasn't liking what I heard, so I immediately contacted the manager. And we were real close friends. I mean, we were really, I said, man, I'm not feeling this, man. And I'm like, $600 is a lot of money to not feel something. He said, well, if you don't, just keep it tonight, play it, you can make your decision tomorrow, call me back. So I couldn't wait to call him back because I'm like, I've already made my decision. And I remember I was up there and tired, and I don't think I got any shit because I'm like, I hope I don't have any issues giving this back because $600 is a lot of money for something I don't even really like, So I called him the next month. Said, yeah, I can't keep this. He said, no problem, man, bring it back today. And, we will write you a check and give your money back. I'm like, cool. And what I realized then was this. It was the marketing. So I'm like, why is this guitar so much than the other one? And another reason is this, and I'll try to make this short because this is about the review on this Esteban guitar. The marketing thing, is very powerful. They want you to believe that this is worth really this when it's really up to you. It's an opinion thing. It's like, I love this or I don't love this or I love this. But I realized then that it was about the marketing because, I'm like, I'll take a Mexican made Strat any day over this American made. So I bought my second American made. And I'm like, well, maybe it's going to be different. It's like 2 years later. Same thing. Real heavy. Tone just wasn't doing nothing for me. And one thing about American made, you can't get rid of them quick, because when you post them and say made in America, people buy them, because I posted it on Craigslist, and the next day, later that day, the guy contacted me. We both worked downtown at the time. He said, can I meet you for lunch? I'm like, sure. So I brought the guitar down there, and he gave me the money, and we went on our way. The one thing about the American made is you can sell them quickly because they're American made. They have a much higher value. But I think that's kind of about it. It's not so much, this is a much better guitar than this one. Because I still have an American made. I think I got two. In some of these studios that I work out of. And that's kind of in my contract that I play this and nothing else, I'm like, fine, I give you what you want. You know, you pay me $200 an hour. Hey, if you want American made, you get American made. You know, but me personally, I kind of like the Mexican Strats better. You know, they lighter, they mix, or they tone cuts through the mix. You know, but it's all about preference, what you like, because what I like might not be what you like. You know, but anyway, let me get on this. Today I'm doing a review on the Esteban. It's called the Midnight Legacy. And let me tell you the story on this guitar. Because I told you that story to tell you this story. It's not all about where it came from and it's so popular and everybody else is playing it and you want to be like everybody else. You know, so I went to the pawn shop. Actually, where did I go? I went for another PC because the one that I bought from there having issues. So I said, let me go back up this. So and when I go back there, I take a peek at the music selection, which is not, you know, not all that great because they don't have anybody in store that plays the guitar. So they just sit there and they don't maintenance and the action is terrible on them and they just slap a price on them, you know. So, and I'm not knocking the pawn shops by no means, you know, I'm not because I don't want my words to be misinterpreted as he wants me to criticize people. I'm not. I'm just telling you what it is, you know, how it is, you know, however you might want to interpret that. But I'm not knocking nobody, you know, I want to make that clear, you know. So they had this guitar, not in the guitar section or the music section. They had it somewhere else, sit on top of a TV or something. That's a nice black color. So I picked it up. And the first thing that ran through my mind when I picked this up was the first time I picked up a Les Paul. You know, they're heavy. They're solid. You know, the Les Pauls of the 70s were solid. The body was wider. Now it's kind of built like this one. It's like it's condensed. Some of them now, they're not even solid. They're hollow inside. So it was nice to pick up a Les Paul from that era. And it felt good in my hand. The same thing with this. This thing is heavy. Not heavy in the bass. It's like, this is some wood. This is not some real thin crap. And it's hollow in the inside. And, you know, it feels like a toy. But, you know, there's some guitars that feels weight-wise like toys, but they play well. You know, I had a J Terza like that. It was real light and thin. But that thing, the pickups was incredible. So I picked it up. And they only wanted 125. I'm like, well, that's not bad, you know. So, you know, I looked at it. I love the design on this thing. Initially, I didn't know whose signature was up there, but it didn't make a difference. It's like if it feels good and when you get home and it plays good, you good. If you got issues, you take it back after you plug it up at home and stuff. But Esteban initially had a bad reputation for them real crappy acoustic guitars because they were really bad. They were really bad. So I was like, okay, I hope it's not like the acoustic guitar. And actually, it's not. Whoever helped design this did a good job. From the design of it, which I'll stick it up to the camera in a minute, this very unique headstock. I love this because, you know, you don't want to do the exact Fender thing because you might get sued. And result of that, you know, people start creating these real ugly headstocks, excuse me, because my headstock has to look good. I mean, that's just one of my personal things. It's like, I want a decent looking headstock. I don't want all this big ugly thing and, you know, just weird. And, you know, and this is kind of unique. It's like a hand grip, you know. So, and it reminds me of the Flying or the Parker guitars that came out in the late 80s. They were real popular. But I plugged it in. I love this tone. I mean, I love the tone of this guitar. You do not want to sleep on this. Trust me. Just because it was made by Esteban, it's so cheap guitar. This is not cheap. Again, a lot of work got put into this. This was not thrown together real light wood, light in the tail kind of guitar. By no means. And this thing is in excellent condition. So I'm gonna leave a link to Mary Music Go Round because they got one now for $149. You better grab it. Trust me, you better grab this one. You know, that's why I'm even doing this video to put this out there, let you guys know. This is a winner. You know, he did a good job with this. You know, because like I told you, I love the tone on this guitar. You know, so I'm going to stick it up to the camera. beautifully designed guitar. And like I told you, this thing got some weight to it. I mean, this is not some, junk they threw together and trying to sell it. So, like I told you, from time to time when I run across really good guitar deals, and some you might want to look into and ignore what people think the market, that's one of them Esteban guitars, they're garbage. No, this one's not, That's why I'm leaving you the link, because I'm not selling this one. Like, I'm keeping this one, I'm like, I didn't pay that much and it feels good. It sounds great. So I'm going to leave a link down here for you guys to see this one for sale in the musical round. I think it's like $149. Then I'm going to leave a link for eBay